Okay. Hey, everybody. Hope we're having a good day. Sync. We're going to go ahead and start the introduction to curriculum. All right. For our agenda for this presentation, we're going to start with a community builder. So that'll be fun. We're going to do some brainstorming, and then we're going to get into some of the skill and mindset connections. And that'll be in, and then we'll go on to the next presentation in the line. All right. All right. Does anyone mind reading the objectives for me? No one? Anyone at all?
I can read.
Okay, thank you.
By the end of this session, I will be able to feel a part of my generation and pod community, make behavioral skills and mindsets connection to technical content, and preview learning objectives for the independent work.
Most definitely. And the behavior skill and mindset that we're going to use is we're going to use proactiveness as our behavior skill, and we're going to use future orientation as our mindset. Does anyone know what proactiveness means?
No.
Doing something without
Anticipation?
being
No.
prior.
No, anyone?
Being involved.
I see. Patricia. Yep.
Yeah, so proactiveness is basically going the extra mile. Like if we see something that we want a little more clarification on, there's like Google is your friend, right? There's a lot of resources out there that we can do to get more clarification.
Most definitely. Basically just acting in advance. That's a good example of it. Going to Google, maybe trying to find answers yourself, but if you're really stumped and then coming to instructors and asking the question, that would be proactiveness. You're trying to do problem solving at that point. Anyone realize what future orientation means as a mindset?
Perhaps for you to stay focused on the goal.
Definitely staying focused on your future goals. Yeah. Also, thinking ahead. So eventually we're going to talk about setting those goals, setting smart goals. All right. Let's see. Sure. All right. First, but before we talk about any of that, we'll start with our community builder. So, what is the best / most interesting thing that you bought in the last year? Got any volunteers?
I purchased the indoor garden system, and it can have like 30 plants on there, so I can just eat more fruits and veggies and be more healthy.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I would think of the Sunday garden. Anyone else? Anyone else want to volunteer?
I went ahead and got a dog. That was the best thing.
I'm sorry?
I went ahead and got a dog.
Okay, cool.
I know, it's the best thing.
It's low when you get into pet. I've had my dog for quite a bit now. Anyone else? Aaron?
I got a puppy as well.
Puppies? Okay. It's always good to get puppies. Alicia?
Hi, my camera is not working. I'm so sorry about it. I think it's volunteer work. Volunteer work?
I can't hear you. It sounds like you're really far away.
Volunteer work?
Tumor?
I think she said volunteer work. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, volunteer work. Wait, you had to buy the volunteer work? Oh, okay. That's fun. We'll take two more. Aaron?
Which cool. Aaron B or the other
Aaron V?
So me. Okay. Yeah. I bought a Hello Kitty Dreamcast, and it cost a little bit more than I expected, but yeah.
Awesome. I didn't even know there was a Hello Kitty Dreamcast.
Yeah, I got it for my girlfriend. It's not for me, but yeah, it's just cool.
Hey, still didn't know that's existed.
I think it's harder to find
Hey,
something that doesn't come in Hello Kitty.
fair enough. Ayalu, I think you'll be the last one.
Yes, I traded my vehicle, so I was excited because I couldn't be before the car price go high. So that's my excitement.
Oh, awesome. As for me, I think like the latest thing I got was a book on like a book of small projects with Python. You can't see it because of the background, but that's what I think I got. Most interesting I got in like the last year.
I think I got the same book that you have. It's the Python crash course.
Yeah, I have that book as well, but this one is literally just a book of just small projects that's in Python. The other one is actually like the crash course of Python that actually is showing you like how to code in Python. That one, like this one is just not no coding, it's just projects. Awesome, awesome, very good. Good. So, someone's going to Thailand. Awesome.
No, he's already over there. I got rid of him for a year. No, I'm just kidding. He's from there, but he hasn't been there since he was like 10 years old, and he wanted to go and spend some time, and he had to take care of some family things. So
All right. Let's go ahead and brainstorm a bit, right? All right. So I want everyone to go ahead, take a moment, think about what is a cloud operations engineer. Think about the best engineer doing the best in their job, and think about your previous experiences with cloud. All right. And I want you to make a list of all the tasks / activities that an excellent engineer should know how to do. I know we haven't really got into what is a cloud engineer, but let's go ahead and just think of what we think a cloud engineer should be able to know how to do. Just off the top of our head. You can all go ahead and type that in chat. Troubleshoot. That's a pretty big one, yeah. Cloud engineer should know how to troubleshoot the systems. Process automation, yeah. It's needed. Attention to detail, very good. Soft skills, able to fix bugs. Working in a team, very big deal. You definitely got to be able to work in the team. Should be able to focus on solve problems, services, communication, critical thinking, all very good ones. Be able to adapt and change. Adaptation is very big. Solving problems, should be able to get more cloud if you need it. In some aspect, yes, that is correct. I'll go ahead and put a technicality on that one. Machine create server maintenance. Yeah, those are all good. Growth mindsets. Wanting to learn every day. That's also a big one. You're gonna have to continue learning. Don't think that it just stops here. Once you get out of here, you get it, and you eventually find a job in tech and get a job in whatever field you feel like working in the cloud. Don't think that's it. You're gonna have to continually learn because there's always something coming up and stuff updating and new services, especially when we talk about cloud. Planning, so I understand it. Most definitely. Most definitely. So saying with all of this in mind and everything in chat, can one person like just say what is a cloud engineer? Because a lot of these are correct. Anyone that want to come out and speak out? Oh, it's okay. It's fine. So basically, cloud engineer, they are responsible for designing, planning, management, maintenance, and support of the cloud. That's what an engineer does, right? So basically, I haven't really seen anything wrong with anything that any of y'all said. So you're all right. Y'all have a general understanding of of what a engineer needs to do and be good at, and y'all don't even know it. Let's see. All right. That's again, or be able to skill in mindset practice, future orientation. How do y'all think practice and future orientation can come in handy? Any volunteers? In this job position? Rhonda?
Just realize that it's changing, and you have to know, for the future, you need to know that it's going to be changing, and you need to be on it and learn all the new stuff that comes out as it comes out, so you can stay up to date on everything.
Definitely. Let's say a new service comes out with AWS in particular, and you're a cloud engineer working for AWS. Everything's working as it is. Everything is fine. But as that service come out, you should probably be doing research on it, seeing if it could improve your systems that you already have in place. Being proactive about that. Yeah, predicting the needs of servers and consumers. Well, I saw someone. Okay, I saw someone say predicting the needs of. Well, David, I saw you said predicting the needs of the servers and consumers. We don't really need to predict. But y'all learn about that in AWS. When we get to AWS, that's when we get to AWS and automation, stuff like that. So it's not a lot of predicting involved. So when you have to gauge patterns, job scope, shoot, definitely. It's definitely. All right. That's good. All right. That was our quick little presentation on that. Thank you. I want to thank y'all for participating. Now we're going to go to Gek for the next presentation. Gek, do you have that ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you, Chad.
All right. Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I think it's our first day, and you have all the motivation. So thank you for being here and to join us. So I'm going to, let me share my screen. I think on the how to maximize our efforts for learning or working from home or remotely. I think you guys did on Saturday or maybe on your weekend different asynchronous sessions. So today we're going to complete or close the session. It's session 4. So how are we going to winning together by maximize our efforts or benefits from the online learning or working? So can someone read for me the objectives, please? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Apply feedback and peer ideas to our action plan and analyze your plan to ensure its usefulness.
Thank you, Babatunde. So yeah, so we're going to apply feedback on our action plan. I think you already prepared your action plan. So if not, we are going to try to on the breakout room, you are going to make one of it, and then analyze your plan to ensure how you're going to use it on day-to-day basis. So can you maybe how many of you did the action plan? Can you just maybe show me on the digital reaction buttons? Okay, 3, 4, 5 people. Oh, so most of you didn't complete the asynchronous session. Okay. So try to cover it. It has 3 sessions before this one. So try to cover those 3 sessions. It's so very important. So that's why, that otherwise, some of you, the one who completed, you can show for your plans for your peers, and then we can learn each other. So think about
where we got, I'm sorry, on the orientation side or where we got the?
Yeah, on the orientation week, I think it's on the third day. There is a asynchronous sessions, so we're supposed to complete it on those days. I think Friday and Saturday. But if not, we are going to just accommodate it for today. But next time, try to just always, if you see right here, let me show you right on the calendar. Always go to the calendar and try to see, you see right here, week 0, day 3. And then when you hear it, you will see, you see this all A. That means you're supposed to finish it by yourself. This is asynchronous sessions. And it's better if you complete it before you come to the classroom. It will help us, you know, for the process of learning activities.
Okay, I have a question. I want you to click on one of them. If you click on the first one for me, I want to see.
Yeah, it will take you to the, if you click this one, and then it will take you to there, you see?
Yeah,
and
okay.
Then after you first start the first one, and then just next.
Click next.
You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Finish next.
Because I kept clicking next and it just kept going and going and going. So I felt like I'm doing too much. But I didn't want to make it seem like I'm, you know, a couple of weeks ahead. But I think I completed what you said.
Yeah, I understand you, Aaron. So it's, yeah, the first, now we are just, you know, introducing all the platforms. We understand that. So try to just next time, try to complete on time. Gazain, do you have any question on this?
Yes, Gage, thank you. Now, I thought I have completed the assignments from last weekend, but you know, this is the same question I asked last time. How do I know what is outstanding and what is completed now at this point? Thank you.
Yeah, if you, in my point of view, maybe Chad, if you have anything, any other you can add, but in my point of view, just if you go to the calendar, for example, it's today, yeah, day 1, it says. So just click and to make sure what you have, what tasks you have to complete each day, just click on that day here, you see? And then you have these programs. So if you have a synchronization that represents A, so that means it's your task you're supposed to complete by yourself. So that's how you, it's easy, I think. If you follow the calendar, it's easy. And when you complete it, make sure you just, you know, complete all of the lists that are in the calendar. Does that work, Gazain?
I know, Gage. I mean, this is probably, I'm just simply asking the same question again and again, maybe don't get any solid answer, because that's not how the system does currently. This is a question I asked on, I think, Friday also. I did from A to Z from those assignments from last weekend, but nowhere it shows this is completed, now you are done. That is, I mean, sometimes it's just, you keep questioning yourself, and like the other gentleman said before me, you just keep going, you don't know which
you don't
one
know
is.
if you're done or not, because even if you complete it and you still hit the next button, now I'm at it says section 4, winning together, and you know, it says at the close of this sync section, please stop here. So, and then I keep pressing next, so I don't know if I should keep going or I should stop.
So we had this conversation last week, Gazain. It was me.
Correct.
And I told you that I wish that that was a feature because we're not able to cross out as assignments get completed. So my solution to you was to write down what's on the calendar so that you can check off what is due or not. Also, when you see the highlighted thing at the bottom that says stop now, that's your indicator to go back to the calendar and go to the next module. It does not mean click next. If you click next, you're gonna go to another section that we're not even into. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that one was clearly communicated last Friday and I got it.
Yeah. And you completed your assignments. I saw them. So
okay,
that's good.
Thank you.
I think
You're
what
welcome.
may also help, I know I probably brought this up as well, is that you can hit grades and you'll be able to see if it's missing or not. So like right now, handbook date has went by, it'll say status is missing. If you have turned in your assignment, it'll have like a little pad here, with like a pencil saying that you turned it in, it just needs to be graded for that particular assignment. And once it's graded, your score will appear here.
Yeah,
And you
thank
can
you.
see all it's all of it, whether it's out of 1300 and whatever so forth.
Yeah, that's wonderful chatting, Karen. Thank you very much. So this one is for assignment, but for the contents, please always make sure just go to the calendar. It's easy. So we put every links there. So when you hit that link, it will take you to the right content. So you can follow the instructions or the content that we put them there. So it's easy, I think, if you follow the calendar. But if you miss the assignment, as Chad showed us, you can also see like that. So let's go to today's session. So can you just read this one? Just think about the action plan you created. I know some of you didn't create, but just think about, or maybe let me give you, I think it's, this is the document. I just put it on the chat here. So just make sure you can see it, and or you can, some of you already completed. So just read these three options and silently choose which of the following applies to how you feel about the action plan. Maybe just you can type 1, 2, or 3 on the chat. One, Laura said 1, then said 1, 1, 1, 2, okay, 1. 1, so most of you said 1, that's wonderful. 2, 1. That's great. So it says my action plan is strong and I will be successful if I follow it. So most of you replied as 1, but just remember always there is a room for improvement. So always try to just review your action plan and you will find something that you are going to improve. So for those you picked maybe number 3, because it's difficult to admit that you might struggle with something. So sometimes we will say, I tried to make a strong action plan, but I think it needs improvement. Still, that's wonderful. So for those you are not sure how strong my action plan is, or if you are not just created that action plan, try to follow all of the synchronous, asynchronous sessions, and you will get some directions. So now I'm going to create a breakout room. And so for those who you created, just try to share out your action plan. And the other 2 people, going to give a feedback on its strengths and weakness. And so try to give them some ideas that going to improve their action plan. And repeat it, the same thing for each other. If you are three, so the three of you going to present or share for the group your action plan, and then each of you going to receive and give feedback each other. So we're going to stay there for 15 minutes, and each of you can take maybe 5 minutes. I think it's enough. So I think you already have one of the documents that I shared, and then let me give you also the rubric, how you can understand how you're going to, it can give you some hints how you can going to create it. That's it. So do you understand what we are going to do when we go to the breakout room? Can someone tell me?
Identify the challenges and then how you're going to overcome them.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the template that we prepared. So try to, you can just prepare your action plan based on this template. And then here you have type of challenges you might face regarding to staying focused, what obstacles you might face to stay focused. You can list it here on feeling isolated, and the same with keeping motivated. So what are the strategies or the solution that you are going to provide for each obstacles? And then you're going to state concrete steps to support me overcome these obstacles. I'm going to follow maybe I just take it, the classroom. For example, if you talk about the Generation USA, you can say, I'll take it seriously, so I'll come on time. It is my responsibility to finish my assignments. When I have a question, I will ask, just make it serious. So just think like it's like a classroom, and then you can just beat that kind of problem. Or maybe you may feel like isolated, so you can maybe I'll going to communicate with my peers. We can just communicate with through Slack. When I have a question, I'm going to ask Chad, Karen, or Gage, or Fuller. So the same, you see. So try to build the community on yourself, so you can you can define what are your techniques to overcome that kind of problems. So let me create the breakout room here. So any question what we are going to do? Maybe if you have any. Okay, the breakout room is open, so enjoy your time.
Hi, Lynn, is there a problem? Oh, okay. Brian? Is there a problem connecting to the room, Brian?
William?
Oh, I see what he did there.
Or who?
That's not actually a, that's a, I don't think he's really in camera.
Yeah, so we're going to put them to the
Waiting room.
yeah. Johannes, are you here?
Don't seem like it, does it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's clever. I was like, wait, he's not moving at all. All right, so what do we do? Just go in the breakout rooms and see what they're talking about, or wait here?
Yeah. Chad, can we just like controlling them from here?
Are you talking about where they move or?
No. I think last time Diego said something and of feedback did you get from your teams?
For sure. Ours was, so I had indicated, some of the obstacles that I face, especially because we are working from home and we are studying online. It's easy to get distracted with things around you. So I think one of the things that we had talked and we kind of agreed together, Aaron and Diego were in my group, was, we can get distracted by the TV, by our phones. Before you know it, you're on your phone and you've spent like 20 minutes on it, or 30 minutes. And so ways to overcome these obstacles was to be disciplined and step away from the TV, turn off the TV, put your phone on silent, have that mindset that you are here to study, and then work in a designated space that is dedicated to studying, so that you're not going to be distracted. Feelings of isolation, one of the things that we talked about, well, I said I'm an introvert, so I'm okay just like staying at home, but I do understand the importance of the need for community, and they both agreed. And so for me, joining, trying to find a study group, even finding one or two people within this cohort that we can connect and study together, or having an accountability, someone that we can talk to, is great. I also kind of talked about the importance of not necessarily only forming connections with the class, but making sure that you maintain connections outside of class, like going to your meetups, taking walks, meeting up with people outside, to know that you still feel connected and that you're talking to people. And the final one was keeping motivated. We all agreed again that, in the beginning, it's always exciting. You start out excited and motivated, but then sometimes halfway through it kind of fizzles down and you're not as motivated. And Aaron said something that I think was important, and also Diego, was that, there's a focus. We want to keep our eyes on the prize, which is to get the certification and then improve ourselves, get the skills that we need so that we can get better jobs. And so that was basically everything that we discussed. And I just said having an accountability partner, either in class or somebody from outside the class.
That's so wonderful. I like it. Thank you very much, Pearl. So I think we can just get some exemplary action plan. So some of you already did yours. So if you don't try to just try it and then develop based on the rubric and the template that we share there. So that's wonderful. I like it. You try to just define each of the obstacles that you may face when you are trying to take your online learning, or even when you are going to work. So everything, I like it. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to most of the time to focus when it's not like a classroom, a physical classroom. So sometimes we didn't get some motivation to keep going. Most of the time, people start us in our classroom. Maybe the first time, the participants will be like 120 or something. But through time, some people's drop off the class. Maybe some of them have their issue, but some of them, because of they lose some motivations. And the other one is sometimes we feel like isolated when we are just staring in front of our computer, so no one is around us. So Maybe if you miss class especially, or if you miss some instruction from our instructors, we may feel isolated. So it's better to just stick with the classroom and other team members. And also, if you have any kind of question, try to use all the platforms, and you can ask the generation teams, or you can also communicate with your peers. So that's how you're going to maybe face all of your challenges. So I like that one. So maybe Aiden, I think you are unmute. So can you maybe tell me about what's the benefits of having feedback from people? Are you here, Aiden?
Yeah.
So what are the benefits, or how do you think it's important to have feedback from people?
Yeah, it's very important because sometimes you couldn't see yourself well. So if you get feedback from others, you can correct your mistake and you can see your strengths and you can keep it up with your strengths and you can improve your weakness part.
That's wonderful. Anyone want to add about the feedback part? Or when we give feedback, how do you going to give people's feedback?
So I'd just like to add feedback. Sometimes, you could be feeling isolated and not knowing how this program is going for every other person. So getting feedback from your, from your classmates helps you know that, okay, you're not, this is not a strange feeling that you have, and it's something everyone is going through, and it makes you feel better in the sense that it keeps you a little bit more motivated instead of, entirely just giving up, and because other people face the same challenges and you're more comforted to know that, okay, this is something you can walk through if every other person is walking through it. So that's my take.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you, Agnes. So yeah, feedback is very important, especially if for personal development, because most of the time, not only our weaknesses, even it's hard sometimes to figure out our strengths, yeah? So people maybe see that kind of thing on their eyes, or they can observe us and they will tell us something that's going to improve us. So it's better to ask people feedback, even if they didn't give you. If you want to improve or to get success more, if you want to save your time or to get more success, try to ask feedback people. Maybe I can ask Karen about how was my presentation? What kind of thing that I have to fix? Can you tell me? Maybe she has her own experience and she can, observe me in different ways. So she can maybe give me some important pointers that going to help me. So always we have to open for feedback, and we don't have to take it personally, or even we may get something that seems negative, but it's not negative, No, you didn't do on this part because you can just do this thing on this. So that means they are trying to help us in some way. So always we should understand that feedback is very important to our personal development. What about self-assessment? How benefits or how it's help us? How self-assessment will help us? Maybe Alyssa Williams. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Alyssa.
Hi, yes, you pronounced it correctly. How are you?
Oh, that's wonderful. So can you maybe just tell your opinion about self-assessment? Do you believe in self-assessing?
Absolutely. I think it's vital and it's very necessary in order for you to be able to recoup. Sometimes we can become very overwhelmed And if you don't sit down and assess the situation to level things off or to get to a point where now, all right, you know what you need to work on, and then, you know, you have your action plan. But sometimes, you know, people struggle with different things. So sometimes it may be someone struggles with execution, someone else may struggle with attention. So I think assessing, really being honest with yourself is something that's vital as well. Because I can assess all day, and if I'm not honest with myself, then it's getting me nowhere. So I think being honest with yourself and realizing, you know, none of us are perfect. No man is an island. So connecting and reaching out is definitely important in assessing yourself.
That's wonderful. I like the way you respond. So thank you very much. It's good understanding. So that's very understandable to have. We need to have some self-regulate. So it will going to help us just, you know, to how we are going to use our resources like time or maybe the other different things. So it's better also to self assessment and reflection for ourselves is very important. In generation, we have different kinds of platforms and resources that will help you to how you're going to self assess. I think maybe next week or maybe Wednesday, we're going to show you about the self-assessment and other things. So that's all I have for today. Maybe can someone tell me about what we discussed on this session? Who going to give us some summary? Or what do you understand on this session? Theodros Shume. Theodros, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
So what's your point that you learned in this session? Maybe can you just brief us?
I just say only one word: never give up for anything. We have a lot of issues. We have challenging things to be successful, but we have to solve as soon as we can. And we are never give up for to success. That's what I learned. Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful. So we think discuss about. I think some of you. That's why the if you were just covered the asynchronization, it was wonderful, to discuss each other, but it's okay. So try to finish all of the asynchronizations and try to develop your action plan to overcome your different kinds of challenges that are related to learning online or working online remotely. So try to have your own, I think I already shared you a template in the asynchronization, there are a template, so try to use that template. It really helps you to put your ideas in order. And also keep in mind the main obstacles you personally may have related to focusing or isolation and motivation. So there are also 4, I think, challenges, techniques that you can, how you're going to overcome those challenges. So try to just finish the asynchronization and you'll get so many tips there. So that's all I have for today. If you have any question or concerns, any doubts, you can feel free to deliver it. Anyone? So thank you everyone for your part. Oh, someone, Rama?
Yeah, so the synchronization every day, if the class is done, we have to do that.
Excuse me, can you repeat your question?
Every session, if we finish that, so every time we need to do the synchronization, what happened to the class, like that? Or because I didn't do that. I didn't know, so I missed it. I will do it tonight, the Friday thing. But if today you talk about this one, right? So if we go the next session, so we every session once we finished, we need to go for the asynchronization to complete that or not.
No, but because when I just trying to assess how many of you completed the asynchronization, most of you didn't complete. So that's why I suggest to complete, go back and try to complete, but it's supposed to be completed on Friday and Saturday. So you have a time maybe, because it's very important and beneficial if you just see the pointers. So that's because, you know, it takes maybe 3 months to stay here, and we are an IT professional. You are going to be an IT professional, so we are going to be maybe a remote worker. So how are we going to motivate it? If you are feeling isolated, how are you going to, you know, overcome that kind of challenge? So these lessons give you some tips. So that's why I just suggest you go back to the previous session and try to finish that one. But you don't have to. If you just complete your session, you're good.
Okay, I didn't do. I'm going to do it tonight. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Rama. Anyone does have any question? Rose?
My question is just one. I did do the assignment, but I don't know where that what the action plan is. That's the one I didn't see, so I never did it.
Oh, what's the benefits of doing the action plan?
No, where is the action plan in the assignment? Because I didn't see it, but I did the others that I saw for Friday.
Yeah, on the asynchronization, let me find for you and then let me show you.
Recording. All right, guys, welcome to demonstrating orientation in detail. Also, thank you for everyone who made it back on time. All right, objectives. Be demonstrating orientation in detail by noticing small mistakes that others miss. Excuse me. Does anyone want to read the key points?
I'll read it.
Okay, thank you.
The key point says orientation to detail means maintaining a close eye for detail when executing tasks so they are completed with precise accuracy and thoughtfulness. The second one says someone who is skilled in orientation to detail as a person who notices the smallest parts of a task or situation so that they can complete a job that they are assigned with complete accuracy.
Most definitely. And can y'all think in any ways how orientation in detail is really important to being a cloud engineer?
Punctuation.
Punctuation, yeah. Especially when we're talking about with coding. So when we're talking about syntax, maybe we can also talk about Linux commands. Definitely the syntax of how Linux commands should be formed can be very important. Anything else? Orientation to detail.
They keep you from having to repeat or do it over again.
Definitely.
Taking notes.
Taking notes can help with orientation detail. Most definitely. All right. All right, how to practice orientation detail. So we create goals, we take proper notes, which was someone was saying. Understanding your role and responsibilities, we get better organized, and we don't multitask. What does that what do we think that means? Do not multitask. Also, I'm saying is
Stay
it a bit
focused.
blurry for y'all?
It's a little bit blurry.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
I can see it.
I can see the
I'm
screen.
able
It's
to
just
see
like it's
it.
a little blurry.
Yeah, it's clear for me.
Let me see.
It's clear here too.
All right. What about now?
Great.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
It's
Welcome.
zoomed in for some reason.
Zoomed in.
If it's zoomed in, it might be on your side. You zoomed in. I believe you're able to zoom in into the to the window or not. Is that what you're saying, or you just can't? It's too tiny. What
No,
exactly?
zoomed in meaning it's really huge on my screen. I don't know. Before it was fine. Then when he did it now, it's like really close. So I only see the top 3. I don't know.
That's interesting. It's really weird.
Close it and open it again. Maybe we solve it.
Try logging it out in and out of the call. See if that helps out. Only thing I can think of.
Okay, I'll leave and come back.
Just a suggestion, if you go to the very top of your screen and you see the drop down where it says view options, you can either fit to window or change the percentage of like how close it is.
Okay.
Or you can hit the control or command and the minus sign.
Yeah, where it says view options, you should be able to maybe zoom out to 50% if it's too big for you, instead of the original size of 100. Where it says zoom ratio, after you hit view options. Do you see that?
It's fine. It's fine. Continue. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay, sir. We also got a recording, so at least the recording should be fun. So yeah, I think one person answered in chat as well. We're talking about do not multitask. I know we have some really good multitaskers out there. It's like I can do 100 things at once, and that's fine and good. But to have really good orientation detail, we don't multitask. We have a task at end, we complete that task, and then we go on to the next. Right? One thing at a time. All right. Now we are going to do an activity. You will be interviewing for a personal assistant role, and this is what you will need complete. So basically, you're going to be making a schedule. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you. I'm going to be putting that in the chat link as well. And also probably end up putting it on Slack as well. All right. There we go. I just put it in chat. I'm going to move this over here. All right. So this for anyone who doesn't have the sheet. I'll show it here. So direction says you are interviewing to be Mara's personal assistant. She owns a graphic design firm. Her workload has increased significantly, and she and her wife have two children with busy schedules. She needs someone to organize her personal, professional commitments so she doesn't miss anything. You're in the final stage of the interview process, which is to complete a task you have to do on the job. Your task refer to the notes below, schedule for your day. So what we will be doing with this task is you'll go ahead and create the schedule individually in groups, and then y'all are going to come together and talk about where y'all be able to what will y'all be able to move that will fit her schedule, share ideas to come out to create a better schedule than y'all had separately, right? And we'll do that, choose which schedule is the best, we'll come out and we'll share. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Can you repeat, please, what we have to do? I didn't understand this one.
So the form that I put in the chat has a list of things that Mariah has to do individually first. You will be drafting a schedule on your own, right? And then as a group, you will come together and try to see which schedule is best. What can you move around to create a optimal schedule for this person? And then once you have done that, we'll come out of breakout rooms and then we're gonna share every group schedule.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone have any questions? Also, if you're trying to edit it, you can make a copy. Thank you, Rhonda, for actually reminding me of that. If you actually want to edit a document, you can download it, make a copy, whichever you feel like doing.
Could you give us access to make a copy? I can't make a copy of it.
Should be able to.
You can put it on the screen, so I will screen capture it with.
Let me see. I just lost the form. Oh, there we go. All right.
Please put it on the screen again.
Yep. In 1 sec. File, make a copy. You can also download it to whatever format you would like. Maybe not, maybe. Yeah, we do have a lot of people too. That's another thing. So I'll scroll down to where you can see more of the schedule. If there's not a lot of people, if we can have like at least one person, share the document, like share their screen, show the document on their screen in each group. That'll be awesome as well. I always forget that sometimes we have a bit too many students, so we run into this problem. Right. Does everyone know what we are doing?
Mine says I was trying to, access the file. It says some tools might be unavailable due to heavy traffic in this file. So
yeah. So since we're running into that problem, one person that has the handle and have access to it, share their screen so they can see so everyone can see the schedule. That'll be great.
I just sent a Word document for everyone. Hopefully everyone can download it.
Okay,
in the chat.
Oh, you put some chat. Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, and once you make a copy, you can exit out of the original, and that'll allow more people to access it.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's put it in chat. So go ahead and download in chat. Do you mind putting that in Slack as well?
I'm doing it now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Does everyone have it? Is there anyone that is not ready?
Ready.
Okay. Okay. Open rooms.
Question. When the question says she has high expectations of what to expect, or for how it looks, are we supposed to like design?
Disregard the design. Focus more on the time schedule and what she has to do during the day. Those meetings, ballet at the ballet academy, getting pick up appetizers, client meeting, leaving room for time just in case those meetings run over. Dropping off the kids, the paper samples need at least 30 minutes to go there and back. So you had some room to move, but it's definitely a very tight and packed schedule, right? And that's what this whole thing was talking about. You have to make sure you realize the details and all this, because even with just scheduling this, it's very easy to schedule something over another and not realize you may not have time for one thing or another. But yep, made it fit pretty well.
I think another takeaway from this assignment that everybody should pay attention to is that everyone had a different way of doing things, and that's how you solve problems, based off of like, okay, this person has a different idea, maybe that can work differently. Working with each other to see what actually like makes sense is probably like the best thing that you can do, especially working with a team or being with employees. So that's another takeaway you can get from this assignment.
Definitely. Sakaya, yeah, you had a question?
Yes, I have a question. So I know with like the orientation details, one of the categories was like do not multitask. But like in a situation like this, right, when when you have a schedule, let's just say if there is room where you could like squeeze, like just say for example, when you're picking up the appetizers and you're like able to make a phone call, was that like recommended, or do you just like want to stand clear of multitasking in any way when it comes to like the orientation details?
Personally, personal preference, I like one thing at a time, so you're able to completely focus, especially in technology. I know, like in other fields, like people are able to do that, and it's like in some sense you could like pick up groceries and also be on calls for making those deals, but you're in my mind don't work that way personally, right? I know some people can do it, but there ain't a lot of us that can. With technology, it's a lot better to have 100% focus on one thing at a time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Anyone else before we continue?
My hand keeps going down. I don't know why, but I just want to apologize because I thought we had to submit this and our group's organization pattern didn't match. So that's why I said ours was kind of different. So if we don't got to submit it, it doesn't matter. So I'm sorry.
We don't. Yeah, it's not a submission. It was just an exercise. So you don't have to worry. Go pull up. If I don't text, I don't return. Well, in
Yeah,
that
if I'm
case,
sitting here staring at you and not
Mhm.
doing anything else while I'm staring at you, I have no idea what you said. Because I'm severe ADHD.
Oh,
If I'm
okay.
multitasking if I'm doing something else or doodling or whatever while I'm listening, then I'll understand and I comprehend. And if I need to remember it later, I'll picture what I was doing when I heard it, if that makes sense. And
that
that's
makes
how I
sense.
remember things. But if I'm just sitting here looking at you, my brain's gone.
And you know what? That's fair enough. You may have to come up with a strategy just personally for yourself. In that case, you could probably encompass that of having like let's say we're having a developer meeting and we're talking about methods methods of tackling the problem. Um, you could probably be satiated by listening to the person in charge or the person that's talking about the method on where you're going to attack this problem, and also writing down notes. So that way it's still kind of multitasking for you, but it's enough to where you'll be able to listen and understand what they're saying. So like you could probably involve like like a little small task that's still on compass encompass on what you need to do without going in two totally different directions, if you get my meaning.
Yeah, notes work. It's just one of those things I've always done. Like in when I went to school in high school, my teachers would call on me thinking I wasn't paying attention because I was doing something, but I would be. If I wasn't doing anything but sitting there looking at them, then I had no idea what they said because my brain had already gone off somewhere else. My brain never stays still, even when I'm sleeping.
Fair enough. Definitely. I really get the sleeping part because I've woken up at like 3 in the morning because I've realized how to solve a coding problem. um, but no, I get that. So maybe you can encompass that too and find like little works that could work for you. All right. Let's go ahead. This. Anyone got anything else before I move on? All right. Let me go ahead and go. All right. Anyone can answer these follow-up questions. What stood out to you in the most with the detail-oriented task outputs? Anyone want to answer the first question?
For me, it's how to prioritize what I need to do using.
Priority? Yeah, priority
Yeah.
is a really big thing, especially when talking about technology, or you're on the dev side, you're managing or maintenance or whatever you folks to do. Priority priority is a really big thing. So we do have to learn to be conscious of priority and what's the most important, right? And next question: how did people who created the best went about the process? Yeah, pretty much all had a pretty good process for what we can. Right now we're just thinking about time, so we wasn't able to go through every group, so we'll kind of skip them. Does anyone have any ideas for what you could apply more orientation detail if you tried this process again?
Yeah, not every task takes a whole hour to do. So you could probably call like your mom in like 10, 15 minutes. Like that one could have been knocked out. Then you could have added yourself a little break and stuff like that.
Definitely. Try taking less time. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a possibility you could just go overtime, but
And then you can just get some stocks.
yeah, stuff. All right. And what have you learned here that you can use to apply orientation detail in your future role or life?
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time. That's a really good one.
Don't forget your breaks.
You can delegate.
I mean breaks, yeah.
Get an assistant.
Assistant, yeah.
Use Instacart to get the groceries to the house instead of picking them up. And could have had flowers delivered as well for the recital instead of having to pick them up as well.
There you go. Ideas.
Modern age.
That's what I did. I'm like, well, since I'm applying for a job as an assistant, I'd be like, well, I can do this, this, and this for you, which leaves you time to go do this, this, and that.
Most definitely. There you go. Modern problems require modern solutions. Right? Right. That's about it. This is pretty much a closing for for a quick minute, imagine yourself doing your future role would be, in this case, be a cloud engineer with extreme orientation, detail, accuracy, and thoughtfulness. So take that minute. Just imagine you working at Amazon, or maybe you're working with Microsoft Azure for any which company. Maybe you're working with Google Cloud, and you being very detail oriented and fulfilling your role and what you need to do, whether it's maintenance, upkeep, repair. Maybe you're just learning services. I know some companies will actually give you time to learn different technologies on the job.
Yes.
So
I can
So
get
it's
through my
good.
class, let him holler.
Right. Good. Thank you guys for participating.